Welcome to the GoOutLiving Attitude, a cancer survivor's journey through health and wellness, helping others search for the tools to bring us a healthier and happier lifestyle. Hi, everybody. Jonathan Brandt, GoOutLiving. Today's special guest is Emma Victoria Johnson. She's not only a stage 4 cancer survivor, but you have shown in your story the resilience, the identity, the betrayal, the healing in turning unimaginable loss into a mission to help others. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here, Emma.
Jonathan, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show today.
Like we were talking earlier, I mean, the stories of cancer survivors are pretty special. And for both of us going through it or have gone through it, I think we get it more than others, like we were discussing as well. But I was hoping today you could start with your story. And your resilience is amazing. So, yeah, if you could start with your story and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. So, March last year, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. It had spread into my lymph nodes and 5 spots into my liver. So, here in Australia, I was offered no chemo, no radiation, no surgery because I was too far gone. So, basically, they offered me palliative care with 18 months to live with 2 chemo tablets, which to me sounded ridiculous because I felt healthy and fit and not sick. And the other side, if I didn't take the tablets, I'd have 3 months to live. So at that point, I was said, if I take the 2 tablets every day, what kind of lifestyle am I going to have for 18 months? There was like 20,000 side effects. Pretty much wouldn't be able to function. So, probably lying in bed, dying. So that didn't sound fun to me. So I was like, actually, no thanks. You can keep your tablets. I'd rather live a 3-month full life than, live an 18-month waiting to die. The weird thing is when the oncologist told me, and they've got this manner of telling you things like they've just ordered a side of fries to the meal. There was no compassion, there was no, oh, I'm really sorry. It's basically like, well, you've got this route or this route. Which one's it going to be? So I went home, denied the treatment, and honestly sat there and I honestly thought, I'm going to beat this. I am going to find some way of getting cancer out of my body. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but there's got to be another way. So that's when I went looking into alternative medicine. And boy, there's a lot out there. There's a lot of places. There's a lot of things online. There's a lot of hocus pocus junk that is absolute rubbish that doesn't work. And then there's the places that work. And that's when I found Oasis of Hope Hospital in Tijuana. Now, my older sister thought I was absolutely crazy for saying, hey, I'm going to Tijuana to get healed. She's like, what? She thought I was crazy. I'm like, it doesn't sound like, the place to go to get healed. And honestly, when I went to the clinic, did I think it was going to work? I wasn't sure. Was I scared? I was terrified. I had no other option anyway. So I was taking a gamble. I was either going to die anyway. And I promise you, as soon as I walked through those doors and as soon as I met Dr. Contreras and sat in his boardroom, I was like, I'm going to survive. And I do have a superpower. I'm very resilient, stubborn. No one can tell me what I can and can't do. So you tell me I'm going to die in 3 months and I'm going to tell you, actually, no, I'm going to dendritic cell therapy, immunotherapy. And within 2 visits, I had removed all the cancer out of my breast. My lymph nodes were almost clear and I only had a few spots left on the liver. And that was last year. And today I see her with complete clear breast, clear lymph nodes, and just 1 stubborn spot left on the liver. So we're nearly there.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Do you think what saved you is them not having an answer that you had to go find it yourself?
I think so. I think, first of all, my resilience kicked in. I think I'd had a really bad serving of life and thought, I am not going down this way. Like at the time when I got diagnosed, I had a partner of 7 years. He left me 7 days after being diagnosed. And I think that gave me the strength to go, what? So I think that actually, I think if he'd have stayed with me, I honestly don't think I'd be here today. I think that gave me another superpower to be stronger. Everything that they told me I had to do, I changed my whole lifestyle. I got rid of my business. I became a completely different person. I had faith in God again. I turned into a completely different human. And I think that saved me, as well as obviously all the treatments. You need to combine everything together, but with the right attitude and the right mindset and the positivity and no negative people in your life, you can do this. They talk about manifestation. I never believed it. A year and a half ago, I had a girlfriend. I'd be like, she's crazy. She manifests things and they happen. Now I understand the power of it. It's a gift, and it is the way you look at life. And like I was saying to you before, how you said, go out and live. You can't just sit there and feel sick, because when you just sit there and feel sick, you're defeated and you're letting the cancer win.
100%. Like when I got diagnosed, I said, I'm going to go run a 5K.
Did
You
you?
know? Oh, yeah. And I did it, which was not fun. It was a hard run because I had chemo 2 days before the run.
Wow.
So I
Because
don't
did
recommend it, but I think it's that attitude.
yeah, and it's funny, like I feel the fittest I've ever been since I was in my 20s. And obviously it's our lifestyle, our diet, we're very strict with how we have to live. But I do understand that when I do so many things a day, I get so tired. Like by the end of the day, I know my body's overworked itself. And I think that's obviously, that we've got to remember that the body's fighting a disease. But I think I'm superwoman for half the day. And then I go, Emma, you need to slow down. You're not 20 anymore. But it's funny, we become the most fittest. Like, you look great. Like, I've lost 20 kilos. I've changed my whole diet system. We become the most fittest version of ourselves.
You do. I agree. I mean, that's my job right now, is staying healthy is what I feel. So I
Mm-hmm.
put everything into that. And I've talked about it before. Being selfish with your health is so important, because if we don't have our health, we don't have anything. And we get that coming from where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Your
And
resilience, again, is just outstanding, but everybody can have it, can't they?
absolutely. But I think it's the people around you as well. You can't have negativity people. I see some people and neither the husband or the wives are against them doing that kind of treatment. That is enough to put you down and not believe in yourself. Oh, it's not going to work. Like, I haven't had any of that, thankfully. My sisters now believe in me, all my friends believe in me. I feel like you have to have that support system. Otherwise, if someone's questioning you in the back of your mind, you're going to start questioning it too. Because, it sounds crazy. I eat half vegan half the time. I'm not allowed sugar. Oh, sure, that's not, no one really believes how important diet is, and staying healthy, and the fact that cancer hates fit exercise and body, healthy bodies. It hates happiness. So everyone has to be happy, which I really don't struggle with. But it's hard. You sometimes I'm not 24/7 happy, but most of the time I am. But sometimes I sit there and I'm like, wow, I got dealt a real crappy card. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to turn it around and make it into an ace. Hence why I'm here now doing podcasts, because I just want other people out there who feel like there's no hope, who feel sad and down, and why have I been dealt this card? You can turn this card around, as you did too.
You can do it pretty quickly if you admit where you're at. I think that's part of it, is understanding where you really are, acknowledging it, and going, this isn't going to take me out, and you move on. You know?
Absolutely. But I think the government and medicine people scare a lot of patients. You know, they're the
I don't
reason.
even think they know. I don't even think they know half the time what they're doing.
I
I'm
don't.
not trying to be mean about that,
Mm,
but I don't believe, if it's not in their book,
yep.
they don't know how to handle it. And that's just the way their protocols are set up and all that. So it's not a negative against them. It just is not set up to handle every situation, especially when it comes to disease.
Well, I think, they've learnt by a book, they've done a degree. I don't think they're bad people saying it. It's their job. Can you imagine them saying something out of character? They'll get sacked. They've got a family themselves. They have to do what they're told. When I got diagnosed, I actually did say to the oncologist, so do I need to change anything in my life? Diet? No, eat what you want, live, carry on. And I'm thinking, really? And then I obviously dive into it and I'm like, sugar, cancer grows, carbohydrates, cancer loves, all the things that the guy was telling me that I could have was feeding it. But I don't generally think he was saying it because he wanted me to go and do it and die. They just don't know any different.
They don't. One of the biggest advices they give is go home and rest, which is to me the dumbest thing you can do.
You go home, get fit and enjoy life. You're sitting there resting,
Exactly.
you think about it. Yeah, you go home and rest.
Exactly.
Your time's
Ugh.
done. You've got cancer. Actually, when you do the opposite is when you win.
Yeah, 100%. My doctors used to laugh at us. I mean, we came in with such positive attitudes. I mean, me and Christy ended up chemo buddies, and we'd be in there in a room together with everybody else, and we're sitting there making fun of each other, laughing, and everybody's going, "How are you guys doing this when you both have serious cancer?" And it's like, how do you not do it? You have to live positive. You have to have fun. You have to just live.
Because many people, yeah, I think it is mindset, and I think they get scared and they get told, if you don't do it this way, then you're going to die, but you can live a little bit longer. Whereas, there's a few percent of us out there that go, well, actually, I'd rather not do it your way, try it my own way. And if I live, great. And if I die, then do you know what? I went out trying.
That's
I'm the same
everything.
as you. Like, yeah, same as you. Like when we go into the clinic, I'm happy every day. There's not many times that I have a meltdown. Might be once every now and then. But other than that, I'm bouncing around, happy, giggling. I'm grateful to be there. That's my main thing. Like the last time I got my vaccines for the first time, I've had a few vaccines at the clinic, and I just broke down crying. And the nurse was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm just so grateful." It wasn't like I was crying because I was upset. I was crying with, you are putting something into me that is curing my body. And I'm just so grateful to be here. She's like never seen me cry ever the whole time I've been going. She's like, oh, whoa, Emma shouldn't be crying. And I think people need to not be scared anymore. Cancer is not a death sentence anymore. It's a wake-up call. You got to change your life. You have to change your body, your habits. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to put yourself first. It comes from stress and trauma and living a hectic lifestyle, or there's so many reasons why people get cancer. The immune system shuts off and the body stops working. It is a wake-up call to change.
I wish people could get it ahead of time as far as be proactive and understand changing your diet, changing your physical fitness, changing that stress, the sleep, all that can help you stay away from what we had.
Yes. Look, I wish I knew that too at the time. Like I was
Yeah.
overworked. I was in no relationship is ever perfect, but mine was quite traumatic. I think I had a bit of trauma from that. I think I should have left a long time ago, but you get to a certain age and you're with someone for a long time, you tend to kind of stay and think it'll work. I think that had a lot to do with it. Definitely running a business was stressful. I think I abused my body at the time, not eating probably correctly or working late and eating late and definitely not enough sleep. Now I prioritize what I eat, how much rest I have. It's like your body, you don't realize, is your machine that functions your everyday life. And a lot of people, we do abuse it. I've abused mine. We've someone to have a few green juice, what's that going to do? How, now I drink green juice, I used to be like, oh, I'll have a coffee, not a green juice. But we don't realize all the stuff we put into our bodies. We are what we eat.
The worst part is, you feel horrible doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I look
It just
back at
tastes good at the
everything.
time.
Yeah, but I look back at everything and one, I wasn't really happy. And two, I kept giving myself, yeah, whether it was alcohol or smoking or eating wrong or what, everything, I didn't really feel great either way you look at it. So it's like, you think that would hit at some point that I'm
Yeah,
doing this
it's a
wrong.
vicious circle. I was the same. I think I drank alcohol to escape life. Like I think I was so unhappy and I didn't realize. And I used to think I did it to socialize, but I actually think I'd finish work and need a drink because I thought it made me feel better. Actually makes you feel terrible. It gives you depression. You end up hating yourself. Every problem becomes 10 times more of a problem. You've got no clear brain going on. Like, I'm so grateful now that I do not need to turn to alcohol every day and think, oh, I've had a bad day. I'm going to have a drink. And now a lot of people do that. And I resonate because I was one of those people. Now I have a bad day. There's not very often. I'll pick the phone up to my sister and have a whinge and have a bloody smoothie.
Right?
And feel great afterwards.
I just had mine.
You just had yours. Well, it's it's
I
it's
did.
it's it's 5:30 a.m. in the morning here, so I'm not quite ready for a smoothie just yet.
You need a coffee. Uh, so, okay. What do you tell people that get a diagnosis?
When people, well, if on my Instagram page, I do have a lot of people that do reach out. If they've been diagnosed for a little bit of help or advice, my first piece of advice is that cancer is not a death sentence. No matter what anyone has told you, it is not a death sentence. And if you can turn this around in your head mentally and accept it and change your ways, you've got a chance of beating it. And I'm not like criticizing, Western medicine and chemo. Everyone's got their own journeys. If I was offered it a year ago, maybe I would have taken that path. Who knows? I strongly believe that God sent me down this path to not do the chemo, to not be given the radiation and to be denied surgery. I strongly believe that this was meant to be my path. And I strongly think that anybody out there that has any doubt in what they've been offered from chemo to radiation or surgery, they need to look into the alternative routes because it works. And I'm here today living proof. I should have died 3 months after I got diagnosed last year, and I'm here as the most fittest, healthiest version, and I feel great, and I'm almost cancer free, which is a miracle. Yeah, and the day is going to come when I, say it's gone.
Yep, and we're all gonna be celebrating for sure, because
We
it's
sure
I
are.
don't think people get that feeling as well when you get that clear scan, and it's like it's like a breath of fresh air kinda, it's just like you can sit there and look at the beauty outside all of a sudden and just get it, you know what I mean? Here's
What did
my
you do
problem
for
that
your sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say when you got the all clear, did you have like something that you wanted to do, like a bucket list of something or
Things were so hectic with us because of Christy's cancer, and we have 5 kids. Uh,
okay.
it was just really a hectic time for everything, so there was never a time that we kind of felt like we were just sick and whatever, or even, okay, better. It was just it all kind of flowed together, and being happy for being clear was very short because of Christy and what she was still going through. So I didn't really get to, yeah, I rang the bell going out from my bone marrow transplant, but it never really clicked until now almost, where I can now look back going, wow, I was really lucky. And I didn't know how bad it was. I really didn't until Christy at one point goes, I didn't think you were ever gonna make it. I'm like, "Really?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she never told me until the end, and I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know," because we didn't talk that way. We didn't
Yeah,
let
okay.
that happen. So, yeah, I didn't really have that moment that just sticks out, but, because we just kept living. I mean, that's all we did, so
And I think that's the best thing that you said before, you You can't just sit there and lie there and be sick. You have to get out and start living.
100%. And here's the other thing that I found too that I wish I would have done differently. I had the options of chemo, bone marrow transplant, and all that, which, like for you, I think you got put in an easier position to look at those alternatives where a lot of people is, okay, you're stage one, let's just go hit it right now. And you don't really have a
Yeah.
choice. You don't feel like you have that choice. But the
Yeah.
fact is, you do. And I urge people to question everything. Get a second opinion. Not saying it's not going to work and you're not going to have to do it, but take your time. I got diagnosed. I'm like, I'm going to be back to work in 3 months. It's
Yeah.
4 years later.
I went to the clinic thinking, oh, in 3 weeks I'm going to be cured.
Right.
Maybe that a little bit of a timeline problem there, Emma. 3 weeks,
Yeah.
nope. But
No.
and I think that's why people do obviously accept the Western medicine, because they do give them a timeline of do this, and then you'll be cured. Actually, you go another route and you stay healthy and cure it and keep your life as it is after you become clear, and you are never getting cancer again. But you go down that other route to start, you've already destroyed your body with chemo, so you're already halfly unwell, even cancer free. And then it's even harder because then you go back to your old lifestyle, because they don't teach you to not go back to oh, you're all good now, go back to living. Actually, no, you can't go back to your old life, because it's funny. They say within 2 years, most people who've done chemo end up with cancer again in a different part of the body. And it's because when they're not taught the right way to carry on living or change, or they've blasted the body with the chemo and the radiation. Then you have to change your lifestyle after that. You have to become selfish and you have to look after your body, because there's one thing in this world: when you are sick, money can't buy health. And we should start today, if you haven't already, and start looking after your body, because that is your machine that carries you through the world. And I wish I knew that. I took advantage of mine, and I wouldn't be sat here today, I don't think, if I'd have understood that what we do has consequences and we have to look after ourselves.
Thing is, we're not the only ones that missed it or ignored it. There's millions out there. I
Yeah.
You look around and everybody is sick with something. And that's not that's the truth. Whether it's diabetes, heart disease, cancer, somebody has something. We all know somebody that has something. So the signs are there, and the signs have been there for a long time, and it's getting worse. And it's easy enough to say, yeah, live healthy. But for some reason, people just aren't listening yet. We're still on that Western diet, or not Western diet, but Western mentality of, hey, take that pill and you'll be fine.
Yep.
I can get sick, take a pill and you're good. No, you're not. Because like you said, once you go down chemo and radiation, there's side effects. And that's what's kept me out of everything. I lost 6 inches of my colon over the last summer, because of all the side effects. It literally destroyed my microbiome. And I'm still dealing with that. So, yeah, we talk about being happy because we're clear of cancer. But in my circumstance, now I had to deal with something else that wanted to kill me, pretty much.
Yep.
They said I was going to die of obesity-related disease because we couldn't figure out why I was gaining weight, and nobody had an answer. And it took finding alternatives to get me back to where I needed to be. So it's not over ever.
No, it's not. It's not. And I know a lot of people, sometimes I get trolled on Instagram and they'll be saying, oh, but you don't look sick. You've got your hair still. I got called fake cancer girl at one point, and I was like, oh, just open your eyes, people. There's such a bigger world out there than this little bubble that you all think you live in. You don't have to have no hair. You don't have to look sick and skinny. Like, there's actually the healthier way of living, and your mindset, and going for treatments that work, that make you look healthier and fitter. And I feel like the olden days, we did think everyone with cancer looks sick, frail, no hair. I go to the clinic at Oasis, everyone looks fabulous, and we're all getting up, we're going to the gym, we're going doing treatments. It's a completely different world that no one really knows about unless you're in it. And then I come back home and I'll see some person that hasn't seen me for a year and they'll be like, "Oh, you look so well." And I'm like, "What did you expect? Do you think I was meant like a skeleton, like death doors knocking on my door?" Like they look at me really weird. "You look better than you did before." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because I'm
Yeah.
really healthy now."
It's true though. I mean, we got that same thing. You guys don't have cancer.
Yeah,
And
you look
yeah, and
really
now it's like,
healthy. Yeah,
yeah.
epitome of
I
health.
I mean, yeah, fine, I look all right, but again, I have so much inside that's destroyed that it doesn't tell the whole story. Just appearance isn't
Yeah.
everything, but you can tell I'm happier though as well because just this is how we're gonna live. We're gonna keep moving. That's the other thing for me. And Christy, did you find that you were putting all your mental strength, all that knowledge to use, or you were having to go out and find it and that kept you busy and that kept you motivated?
I think at first I had to go and find it, but as soon as I got to Oasis, they teach you how to live, how to eat. They monitor everything. So I feel then I became cared for. You get given a diet, you get given spreadsheets of food that you can eat, you get counseled and taught to, and you get the treatments and you get home supplements. I feel now I don't go searching for anything. But before that, I was looking at fenbezimol. I can never say it, sorry. Ivermectin. I was looking at doing the blue method. What's it called? I
Blue
used to
method,
do it.
yep.
That's it. I used to take that every day before going into a sauna. And then I got to Oasis and it just changed. Those things are great. They are. They're great for pesticides and, opening your blood cells. But as soon as I got to Oasis, I felt like life got easier. I didn't have to keep searching for answers. They literally they give you everything. And then they monitor you for 3 months while you go home. And you're a patient of theirs for 5 years when you sign in. Now I'm less stressed. Now I'm just like, now the only thing I have to do is confess if I have a piece of cake now and then. Which, hey, I was on a podcast with Dr. Contreras the other day and we were talking about diet. And I said, every now and then I do cheat. Look, I'm not a perfect angel. Every now and then we're allowed a treat. And I tell you what, that treat day is like heaven. I was like, close your ears, don't listen. But I feel like the clinic's giving me my life back. Like they've shown me how to live with it. They've shown me how I eat. My diet isn't as ridiculous as I thought it should have been. At first I was a vegan for 3 months. I had no protein. I lost way too much weight. I think I did become too skinny. The clinic give you a diet that's not easy, but it's easy to live with. Like, we're allowed protein here and there, and they give you recipes, and I feel like that has given me an easier way to live life. And I don't go searching anymore. I just stick to what they say. But at the start, I think 24/7 I'd be online looking for something. And I would buy all those things, all those tablets that anyone said, I'd be straight away purchase, green, blue mushrooms, buy. And in the end, they work, but sometimes you need something a little bit more, which is, resilience, keeping to your diet and building the immune system.
Well, and for you, finding the clinic that you're talking about was probably everything. What sets them apart? How are they doing it so differently?
I'll say that again, sorry.
What is it, the Oasis or the clinic that you go to? How are they able to do it so differently than everybody else?
So basically what the clinic do is they build up your immune system with lots of IVs and obviously diet. And then by the end of your visit, they do like an NK killer vaccine, a dendritic cell vaccine, and an LAK vaccine. Basically, they boost your immune system up. So it's like a superpower that goes into your bloodstream. So they take out some of your blood and it goes into a lab for 7 days, and they make like an army that goes back in that fights against the cancer. So I believe, look, diets definitely starves the cancer. So the cancer cannot grow without the sugar and the carbs and the stress, because it breeds in a certain environment. So that's your stop point. Then obviously you start the treatment. So, like vitamin C, B17, vitamin K. We do all like a mineral bag that's got all different vitamins and minerals in. We do treatments. So cancer hates heat. Would you believe it? So we go into a heat pod that is 180 degrees, and you go in there for an hour, and it actually heats your body up to a core temperature that starts eating the cancer. Would you believe that works? Like,
That's
heat of all
crazy.
things. So when you come home, you'll do a sauna 2 to 3 times a week at a certain temperature, because it's keeping the body, eating the cancer. And on top of that, you've got all the immune system vaccines that you've had in. So it's not just you go to the clinic and you have one thing done. It's a whole experiment of days that you have work done to yourself, and you go home for 3 months, and your cancer's dying. And it
Basically,
sounds
your body's
crazy.
fighting it off. Yeah, your body is actually fighting it off, but they're giving it
You
the boost to do
every
it.
Yeah. And like, look, you do get tired when you've done the vaccines. You do get tired. There are some days when you just want to lie in bed because your immune system's over processing. You can feel a little bit sick, but when you come out of it, wow, I've got more energy than anything. And I can't wait to go back, which is crazy. Who would say that? I love going. I love going because I know when I leave, I'm coming out again, and I'm getting rid of cancer again. And I do meet the most wonderful people there too. Everybody in that clinic, staff, nurse, patient wise, beautiful people, just beautiful people. It's like a different world,
Are they getting people from all over the world?
all over the world. I've got a really beautiful friend that I met from Nigeria, Switzerland, Sweden, England, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Australia, Americans. I've got a whole new bunch of American friends, which I love. I've made
We're not
more
that bad,
American
right?
friends. Hey, I love you guys. I'm actually thinking of moving over. I'm like, you're all so friendly and fun, and you just talk to anybody, and I just love America. So watch this space.
You're welcome anytime. Oh, that is awesome. Um, here's the crazy part too. I mean, you not only had cancer, had an issue with a boyfriend, with us, that sort of situation, but you also lost your parents and found out you were adopted.
Yes.
And this is all within the same time period.
Well, no, my parents was when so my dad died when I was 21. My mum passed away when
Okay.
I was 26. Um,
Okay.
and I found out I was adopted when I was 26, when my mum got sick. And it's funny, I had this conversation yesterday, and the adoption thing didn't bother me, to the point of, I had the most beautiful childhood. I was a very wanted child. I think my mom and dad loved me more than their two children. Sorry, sisters. They'll admit that anyway, so it's fine. So I had the most beautiful upbringing. Really, really sad when my dad died, because I was very close to him. But again, it made me a stronger person. It made me stand on my own 2 feet. So I learned a lesson from that. My mum dying, same again. I had to go out into the world now without a mum. So I feel like these lessons have taught me to where I am today. The finding out I was adopted, I promised my mum that I would never go looking, and I've never gone looking. Doesn't phase me, doesn't bother me. But I do think I have abandonment issues that I don't really know about. So I do believe that I hate to not be wanted or liked, or I feel I do. I know I have that in myself. So I think going to the boyfriend thing, when he abandoned me when I got diagnosed, that really hit hard, because it was at a time when I needed somebody not to look after me, but to support me and be there. And I've also given you 7 years of my life, and you can't even stand by me because what? You think I'm going to die and I'm no longer worthy? That's just selfish. But he did me a huge favor because now looking back, I'm like, God removed you for a reason. You got taken away. He took you out of my life so I could live, because if you'd have stayed with me, I would have died because you looked at me dead already. So I believe that he was taken. He was meant to go. My journey was not meant to come. That he was not meant to be along for the ride. And it's funny now. I look at everything that I've done after him leaving. I've become a better person. I love to help people now. I'm just completely different. I'm so positive. I'm happier. I have stage 4 cancer and I'm happier. Like, who says that? And I put
I
me
did.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned to put myself first. And then I love talking to other people who are having issues or problems, whether it be from cancer to relationships. I love helping people. It's like my new superpower. If I was still with him, I wouldn't have the time for that because I'd be looking after him, not myself. So I thank God for removing him. And you know what? I don't feel any bad towards him. I wish him well. I hope he's happy. There is a bombshell. He actually got with my best friend 6 months later. Can you believe that? So no, then that was another thing that I had to process. And I was thinking, are you really testing me in this life? But I am not bitter. I am not a revenge person. I'm like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason in this world. And I'm thanking God for everything that he's put in front of me, because he doesn't give people things that he doesn't think that they can't do. So I believe my new power is I'm going to cure stage 4 cancer, and I'm going to help a lot of people come and do this a different way. And I think that is meant
Well,
to be my path.
and you are definitely on your way. You have been named Onco's Daily Top 100 Influential Cancer Survivor.
Of the
I mean,
year.
that's pretty amazing.
I know. That was pretty
That is
amazing.
absolutely amazing.
And I didn't start this journey ever thinking I would be this. I just started to blog it so people could see that I was okay. It was mainly for my family and friends. And it just started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now every day I wake up to anything from 50 to 100 messages, and I reply to every single person. And I just love it. I love talking to people and trying to give them hope, or if I can help them get to the clinic, or if I can give them advice. I feel like I've got a new purpose in life. And I
That was
think that keeps
awesome.
me going too, because now I'm not only doing this for me, I'm doing it for everybody else.
I love that. Absolutely love it. And it resonates so much with what we were trying to do. And it's just amazing to, like I said, to meet people like you. Just it gives me more hope even. I mean, I feel great. I love what I'm doing, but to hear somebody else's story, it's just amazing that there's a lot of us out there, like I said, and you doing what you're doing, uh, you're going to
It is.
help a lot of people survive.
Yes. Yes. So far, I've had quite a few people that I've got to the clinic, and at this point, I've had about 7 of them cancer free, which is the best news ever. Yep. And
That's amazing.
that's since October last year. So, that's not even a year, and they've been twice and they're cancer free. And I'm just, yeah, and they're so thankful for me, having my story out there and getting them there. And that this is the journey from now on. I'm going to help other people understand that there's another way to cure cancer other than chemo, radiation, and surgery. People need to look into it.
I love it. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank
So how
you.
do people get a hold of you?
So I'm on Instagram, which is Emma_Victoria J. I do most of my things on Instagram. It seems to be my biggest platform to reach people all over the world. TikTok, not so much. I don't think I'm too trendy enough for TikTok. I never thought I'd say this, but I almost really struggle with it. But I am on TikTok as well, here, there, and everywhere. But I would probably just stick with my Instagram page. I'm on that 24/7. I reply to everybody's messages. I'm daily on their storying, talking about my journey. So yeah, Emma underscore Victoria J. And I'm here to help anyone that ever wants to talk, even if it's not even about cancer. I know some people message me about, the mindset, if they're struggling with life. I'm here to help.
That's awesome. Is that the future then? Is that where you're going to keep working hard at it?
This is the future. I did say to Oasis, when I'm cancer free, I want a job. I was like, I'm going to
That's
come and work in
awesome.
the clinic.
That is
I'm
awesome.
I'm gonna be the patient's PA stroke mindset helper. They started laughing. I was like, listen, this is the future. Cancer free, Emma's having a job. So watch out,
There you
Oasis. I'm
go.
coming in.
Oh, they'd love to have you, I'm sure. That
They
is
would,
awesome.
they would, they would. And do you know what I love about it? The clinic now, we have people book around the same time that I go, which I absolutely love because I end up meeting people from my Instagram that book. So I'm like, you know what? I could actually come and work there. But at this
That
point
is
in time,
awesome.
still my own journey, still got to cure myself. And as soon as I'm done, there I am.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, you deserve it all as well. I mean, again, for
Thank
your
you.
resilience, your everything you've been through, and to have that positive of an attitude, it's just awesome to see. It really is.
Thank you. And the
Of
same for you as
course.
well. You've done amazing. We're both warriors together.
Thank you. I love it. There's a lot of us though, and that's
There
like
is.
like we said, that's why we're doing this, and we want people to reach out anytime.
Yep.
That's
And
amazing.
I understand there's a lot of people out there that do not want to discuss it and do not want people to know, but cancer is not something to be ashamed of. It's really not.
No, and that's the thing. You don't have to talk about it, but at least watch and learn
Absolutely.
and understand there are those alternatives. And we both have proven that other things will help along the way. So um, please listen and be proactive. I mean, that's the other side. You don't want to go down the road we did. So try and make changes now before it happens. Emma Victoria Johnson, again, absolute pleasure. Survivor, stage 4 cancer, and just again, the resilience, the healing that you're doing, not only for yourself, but for others, is just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Jonathan, thank you so much for having me on the show. And I hope to be on it soon when I'm cancer free.
I love that. We'll do it live. How about
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. That would be amazing. I would love to. Thank you. It's been an
That
absolute honor to be on your show today. Thank you.
oh, thank you,
And you're a
Emma.
ball of sunshine as well.
I try. My 6-year-old will probably take me down here in a minute.
Well, you are. You can
No,
tell
I
him I said
appreciate
that.
that. I will do. Will do. No, thank you so much. All right, everybody, it is that time, and I thank you all for listening. And as we continue our health and wellness journeys together, find the attitude, keep the attitude, go out living. Bye, everybody.